There is a dimension beyond that which is known to man. It lies between the pit of man's fear and the summit of his knowledge. It is a dimension as vast as space. It is the middle ground between science and superstition. The time is now. The person is you. The place, the Tempest Universe.
This is the Tempest Universe.
In case you didn't hear it, this is the Tempest Universe. I am your host, Manny. And that was Elon just now. Elon was showing up, letting himself be known to the crowd. Go ahead, Elon, do it one more time. That's all you're going to get about Elon this week. Literally. That's it. Apparently, blowing up 2 rockets in Boca Chica is bad fucking news. Really? I mean, come on. Let the guy blow up the damn rockets. I mean, it's getting so bad, nothing's going on. Nothing. Nothing at all. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. We've got a few stories to talk about today. One of them, I had to pour a double of vodka today just because I have a story on Roswell. Jeez Louise, it pains me. It pains me to even talk about Roswell at all. Because I feel like we need to forget about it. Forget about it. We don't need to talk about Roswell ever. Ever, 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 ever. But apparently that's not the case around the world. People still talk about Roswell like it's still happening today. So I don't know. We're going to get into that particular article, this whole Roswell debris thing. Because, and by the way, Bugs is here. Because it's just, we'll wait. We'll wait. If you haven't joined the contest yet, first, I want you to just take a moment. If you're on the shitter, make sure the door is closed. Then I want you to go to google.com and Google it. Professor Avi Loeb. I mean, you can't even go wrong spelling the guy's name. I mean, he made it so fucking simple. Who knows what his real name is? That's what I'm saying. Professor Avi Loeb. A-V-I, last name L-O-E-B. Just look him up. You will have 36 pages of hits on Avi Loeb. The guy's everywhere right now, promoting his book. The book is titled Extraterrestrial, the first sign of intelligent life beyond Earth. This all has to do with Oumuamua. We're not going to get into the name because I freaking hate it. But I've got 2 copies for you to win. Go to the link in the description and enter to win. That's it. It's that simple. There's no conspiracy here. That's all you got to do. Now, you could do some other stuff while you're in there to earn more entries, but that's it. All you got to do is one thing. Everything else is icing on the cake. Win one of these 2 books. I don't care where you're at. You could be in Tasmania hanging out with a bunch of kangaroos or something like that. It doesn't matter to me. You could be, well, there is one exception. If you're walking around South America in the rainforest and you're spear chucking and you're wearing leaves, there might not be a way for me to get it to you. I'll be honest with you. You might be listening to me right now because of Elon and his Starlink satellites, but otherwise, no delivery there. Sorry. But if you're in the UK, and the UK, it's been that kind of a week, by the way. If in the UK, or you were in Dublin, in Ireland, Norway, even if you're in Mother Russia, I'll get it to you. I know I've got a few listeners in Mother Russia. I'll get it to you. I might have to go through quite a few, eyes, some searching, and you might get searched when you get the box. If you're in the Russian Federation. But you get the box anyway, and apparently you get a treat too. A little bit of the Schwab, if you will, looking for the coronavirus in a posterior. But nonetheless, listen, go ahead and enter the contest. The books are there for your folks to win. And after that, shortly after that, the contest that a lot of you have been waiting for, one of my favorites, the Tinfoil Hat Contest. That is going to be magnificent. I've already been hearing people sending me messages and talking about their entries into the Tinfoil Hat Contest. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this happens every year. A lot of talk. You know what they say, bullshit walks. Don't talk about it, be about it. If you're in Texas, central to South Texas, get your behind to HEB and get some aluminum. If you're up North Texas, go to Kroger's. Everywhere else, Pathmark, go to Pathmark. Winn-Dixie, if you got one, go to Winn-Dixie. Start stocking up now on tinfoil. Because you're going to make the most wonderful tinfoil hat. It's going to be useful. Maybe you'll wear it out one day, for fuck's sake, when you go to that CE5 gathering with the reptilian man, Stephen Greer. Make it functional, make it beautiful, make it you. But get ready for that. March 1st is coming down. And, and every day I'm thinking about new things to throw in as a prize package for the tinfoil hat. So who knows what the hell's going to happen at the end. I have no idea. It's going to be crazy. Like I said, this episode, we got 4 articles to talk about. We got 3, UFO space-related ones. And then we got one, for God's sakes, British Airways. What the hell is going on over there? That's our weird article, strange news article for the week as we round about Wednesday. And I don't know about you guys, but my Monday lasted 3 days. So, that goodness for the Russians and their inventing the vodkas, because it kind of helps you get through it. It really does. I got to play this track. This goes out to the people on the southern East Coast, like Florida, South Carolina, sometimes North Carolina. You get the business too. Louisiana. Everyone that's on the coast down there, they can get one of these. And of course, if you're somewhere in the, Midwest somewhere driving a semi, this is for you too.
Strange vibration.
There was a time during UFO Buster Radio where I was considering allowing, like, just listeners to come in and co-host an episode. And I think I came close to doing it a few times, but there was one episode where I lost complete control of the whole thing. It was like madness. Like, you ever sit back and you're having a conversation with someone, and then all of a sudden you just go blank, and like, you can see their mouth moving, and you see everything around you, but you're not really there anymore. Like, you're so tuned out, you're wondering how you even came to this situation, or why you're even alive. That's how it turned out. But I've been thinking about, and hear me out, folks. Been thinking about having the Asgardians maybe once a week come in and do like an intro, a little bit of chat in the beginning, find out what's up with them, see what kind of crazy news they've come across that they'd like to share, and then, click the red button, get them the hell off the podcast, and then I can continue on my merry way with the news stories. I think it'd be great. I don't know. We'd have to throw it by the Asgardians over on Discord and see what they think. I think it would be fantastic. We'll get a little schedule together, and you can show up when your favorite Asgardian is here. I don't know, something like that.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
The first story is one of these great ones. This is along the line of the CIA releasing documents. If you haven't looked at the documents, because you give no fucks, I'm just going to put it out there. Because you should at least have it downloaded somewhere, whether it be on your desktop, your mobile device, your mobile phone, somebody else's device. Even if you're scared that they're going to know you downloaded it, go to someone else's device and download it. Take a look at it. Now, you're going to first realize, like everyone else does, how in the fuck you're supposed to read through all this redaction. But you'll learn to read between the lines, because in this article, that's what somebody did. The Pentagon admits to carrying out tests on futuristic UFO debris, according to an expert's claim. It's not who you think it is. It's not Pareidolia Pete, Scott T. Waring. It's not him. Thank goodness. Could you imagine if he had a real claim? That would blow our minds. That would be terrible for us. This article is talking about a particular individual by the name of Tony Bragalia. I say it like this because I've been watching a lot of European shows. So I feel like since his first name is Tony, he's got a bit of Italian in him. So I'll lean a little bit on my New York accent. So Tony Bragalia, he's a ET expert apparently. Anyone that has a fucking website about UFOs is an ET expert. I'm just saying that's the way it is. We're not even going to go anywhere else. What he's saying is that he submitted some FOIA requests all the way back on December 26, 2017. It's a weird day. I know. It's like after Christmas that you not get the shit you wanted Krampus or Santa Claus to give you, so you decided to write the U.S. government and put in a FOIA request. I don't know how that works. But he says that he's uncovered that the Pentagon has been testing futuristic material that are quote-unquote a quantum leap ahead of current technologies that came from flying saucers. Just to throw that in there. I don't want you to be confused with Shittergate. It's not fancy toilet paper. This is UFO stuff, alien stuff. Stuff that just is not identified. Now, this all comes from what we heard in the past. I think it was like maybe a year and a half ago or something like that. All this crazy news about Deuce Bigelow, the space gigolo, a.k.a. Robert Bigelow from Bigelow Aerospace. How he had these massive warehouses in Las Vegas that he was hiding the quote-unquote metamaterial that was recovered from UFO crashes, UFO incidents with military. And he had it all stored there, and there are people looking on Google Earth trying to identify which Deuce Bigelow property had the metamaterial, and you'd see pictures, people trying to figure it out. Okay? Which all led to nothing, because not one of those people raided the damn place, which I'm sure these things were probably heavily guarded in one way or another. So I'm just saying. So our guy here, Mr. Bragalia, he submitted his FOIA in 2017, almost 2018, to be honest. All of a sudden, this year, on January the 8th, he gets a response. He says it's a partial response, but it's 154 pages partial. He requested information about all the test results on UAP material, because that's the new IT word, from Bigelow Aerospace. What he received was details about maybe some of the application of the metamaterial. This is kind of odd because they didn't give him what he wanted. They didn't give him specifics about the material, where it came from, where it's been, where it was, and where it is now. They gave him 154. Well, actually, the article says 154. When I downloaded the packet, it was like 145. So somebody's got dyslexia, I think, or somebody's hiding pages. I don't know. But he says that the things that it had in it were claims that the material could have the power to make things invisible, compress electromagnetic energy, and even slow down the speed of light. There's talk in there about metallic glass. Completely nuts. Also, the material seemed to have the same properties as memory metal, which goes back to Roswell and what they found. Major Marcel. This aluminum-looking thing that you can crush and it go back to its original shape. Back in 1947. Bragalia says that much of the report details are redacted. Of course, what else? But he says what can be gleaned is that these technologies represent a literal quantum leap beyond properties of all existing materials known to man. The funny thing is that even though they didn't send him specifically what he was asking for, they kind of acknowledged that it exists, right? Because they gave you the recipe of what these things could be used for. So they didn't find, pieces of metal from a 747. It's not pieces of metal from a Russian warship. This is material that they have identified all these properties that can be used for all these magnificent things that are detailed in these documents. Bananas. Completely crazy. It's like admitting the shit exists without really doing it. This is what they sent him. So if there's any question that metamaterial exists, there's your answer. It really is. Now, in the article, if you go into it, you can see the initial FOIA request. It's in there. You can click on it and read it. It's about a page and a half. And then you can go and download what they actually sent them. I only went through maybe the first 5-6 pages. But when you look at how they detail things, you look at how the documents were dated, the immense amount of redaction. I mean, I have little to argue to the idea that it's not real. But just take it from the fact that these are documents. Just take away the UAP UFO stuff and all the metamaterial. Take away Deuce Bigelow and Space Gigolo and just look at the content of what it's telling you. They found some crap. They figured out they can do all this kind of shit. And we've got all these great technologies coming one time in the future that you probably will not see until your deathbed. But apparently someone's tested it and they're working on it. Just look at that without thinking UFO or UAP. It's amazing. Then you add to the fact that it's all connected to UFO or UAP, and you have your answer. Here's the thing about UFOs and the discussion of whether they're real or not, is that, for fuck's sake, you don't need any more evidence. You really don't. It's all there. If you piece all this stuff together from government sources alone, you have your answer. You don't have to look anywhere else. Take everything that's come out in the last 3.5 years, it's a done deal. But people still, they fight it. They don't want to believe. If this material came from an earthly entity, another country or something like that, why are they so much far ahead of us? And why is it that no other country looks like they're that much far ahead of us in technology? Let's be honest. Just think about it. You can download these stuff. If you can't for some reason, you're afraid, you think the NSA is going to come after you, or CIA or FBI or whatever alphabet soups out there, hit me or holler. I've got them. I'll send it to you. By carrier pigeon. Through a little bit of smoke. By the way, Bugs just got up. Thanks, Bugs. We appreciate it. Check out the link in the description, and let's check out the next track.
Driving around in California, looking for something to make me stay. Round and round forever, searching for something that could never get replaced. Don't need you to save me, but I just really need to be saved. I'm just so sick of waiting for any luck to come my way. Yeah. Feel good, be good, stay good, and live good. If I could feel good, I'd live good, I'd die good.
I'm an odd person, I run in dark circles. I would love a long life, cause I love how life's worthless. I'ma paint purple, cause blue's overrated. We all outdated, we all so jaded. We all lost love like love's our savior. It's a dark place when it's all about the paper. Counting pretty cards before they deal you something heinous. I've been steady sitting on my ass. I'm so contemporaneous, in love with my behavior. But really I could probably try and be something greater. I'm my favorite, you could tell me something different, but I probably wouldn't listen. No, I probably wouldn't listen. The word, that's the ego, scared it's taking over. But fuck it if it's fun to run my tongue up on these road fronts. But I know I could lose it all if I'm not careful. I sound scared, hope you feel that my heart's there though.
Don't need you to save me, but I just really need to be saved. I'm just so sick of waiting for any luck to come my way. Yeah. Feel good, be good, stay good.
This film contains adult language. There are 17 swear words carefully placed throughout. Kids, can you find them?
By the way, one of the ways to earn extra entries in the contest for the book by my main man, Professor Loeb, the Loebinator, is to follow the podcast on Spreaker. Now, why is that a plus? Because, you listen to stuff on iTunes. You listen to stuff where it's a Google Podcast and iHeart and Spotify and on we go. Also, the podcast is there as well, so why not there? But the difference is that on Spreaker, you can listen to the show live when it comes on Monday and Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, sometimes I'll surprise people, but the only way you'll know that I'm on is if you go to Spreaker and you sign up, and you'll get a notification that the show is live. It's been a while since I've done recorded stuff, only because it's too much editing. You know what I mean? It's too much work. I'd rather be on here live and, interact with folks like the guys that are in the chat now. Predominantly the Asgardians, let me just say this. So we got in there right now, we got Gamevid, Green Man, Dre, and Half Asleep Davina. We also have Texas Hellfire. I just had to throw in that little twang in there. And out of the blue, out of nowhere, I know he's been out there lurking, Psycho Billy. Psycho Billy also was on the pod way back when, during UFO Buster Radio. So Psycho Billy, what's up? And, he says, fuck Big O. Big O actually is supposed to be coming on the podcast here shortly when he gets a break. Because, he's a trucker, He's like Gamevid. He's out there doing stuff. Now he's hauling milk. Because milk does a body good. You ever wonder... I don't actually wonder. Actually, during that little sting, I just had to take a shot of vodka because this is one of my least favorite subjects when it comes to UFOs and ufology, and that is Roswell. Well, it turns out there's a freaking show that was out, I think it started back in January, regarding that crazy New Mexico crash, July 1947, that people say started everything. Now, mind you, there were other UFO reports during that time, and even before that, but this one was the cat's meow. It was the butter on people's buns. What else could I say? It was a fart in Bug's anus. This was it. The title of this article is UFO Riddle Roswell UFO Crash Debris is still out there, according to an expert. Don't you love experts? They claim all kind of shit. The probe, as a probe reveals something really hot smashed into the desert. You gotta watch out how to use the word probe, okay? On this podcast, it's not anything, revealing. It might be really hot, though. The revelation came from a 6-part documentary about one of the most craziest, unresolved, headache-giving riddles in ufology, I guess. What the hell happened in 1947? This documentary has a former CIA operative by the name of Ben Smith who came in with a bunch of other experts on all kind of stuff, geology. I mean, you name it. They put a bunch of people on this, like it's never happened before. And they went out there to the area where the crash was reported to figure out once and for all, did it happen? Was there a crash? Just in case you guys didn't know. I would think by now, we know there was a crash. If there's anything I can admit, some shit went down in New Mexico, Roswell, because we wouldn't be all sad and shit in 2020 because we couldn't go to the festival. I mean, what else are you celebrating? So yeah, something went down. Something crashed in Roswell. We're not stupid. We know. We already know. Apparently, these guys, these dudes that were out there doing this investigation said that they found something fascinating. Here's a quote that they gave. There are delineations in the soil from northwestern to southeastern in that direction which match witness descriptions of something falling from the sky, hitting the earth, and skipping and scattering debris. Okay, bada bing, I get it. Like I said, there is no doubt that something crashed at Roswell. Listen, I believe it. No doubt about it. But during the investigation, this crew went out there, and what they said was that that it looked like the area where the crash was reported, that there are a lot of unnatural features there. Meaning, that's not the way the shit was before it crashed. I mean, they're finding all kind of ways to tell you something actually crashed. And of course they, kind of allude to, yeah, this was a UFO. I mean, it could have been anything that crashed, right? Let's be honest. We're not even going to play with them right now. But they said that they also took aerial images of the area before the crash, and then after the Roswell incident, and noticed that there were multiple furrows in the surface. But something else. And it continues. Like, these guys, listen, these guys were really out there looking for shit. They really were. So they brought all kind of technology, all kind of experts. Again, it's not something new. It's happened before. What they said was, in addition, this is it. This is what you've been waiting for. There was something really hot hit the earth and heated up the surrounding soil, and it changed the magnetic field in the area. So that intrigued them. So let's dig a little deeper. The next thing they found, using some high-tech equipment, is that the soil in the area where this thing crashed, it appeared that the equipment was picking up signs of hidden metal beneath it. So these guys went out there. They were using all kind of equipment. Not one of them had those little metal detectors you take out to the beach. This was like high-tech stuff. And they mapped out, there's metal down here. Now, how did it get there? Good fucking question. Because unless some of them farmers were like early Elon Musk blowing up fucking rockets in the middle of Roswell, then guess what? Something metallic must have blown the fuck up there, right? Genius. The guy that's doing this whole thing, his name is Ben. He says, he has a quote. He says, that's the crazy part, and it could be the conclusive evidence that we need to determine whether this was truly extraterrestrial or this was very terrestrial. It could just be a box somewhere. I think there is a piece of this thing that crashed somewhere out there, and I think we can find it with enough time and enough resources. How much more fucking time you need? It's happened in 47. Where are you looking that no one else has looked? And if you have, these are all my questions, while I'm reading this. It wasn't shitter time, but definitely I sat down and I read this. I was thinking, if you had the time, you had the resources, you had the technology, because Joe Blow from down the street in the city of Roswell is not going to have the technology to map out hidden pieces of metal buried in the under the surface. Why didn't you stay there? Why didn't you stay there and dig this shit up and get that meta material out? Don't give it to Deuce Bigelow, the space gigolo. Give it to someone that will be impartial and could do some kind of a test to figure out what is the makeup of that material. But that's it. That's the cliffhanger. So he got all this technology, all these people out there, found metal under the surface or indications of it, and it went nowhere. I don't know if you watched this 6-part series, and I think the series actually played out in the UK on the Sky Network, like the Terminator. So I think it played out there, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on with it, because I think it's crazy. This guy, Ben Smith, was actually the one who was saying that, there could be evidence out there because of what they found but not one fucker went out there and dug it up. I mean, sell the damn maps of the metal pieces. Come on. I'm sure someone in Roswell would love to have that information and just go out and have a fucking dig every damn night until 2047 to try to figure this thing out. There's more to this article and everything else they did. They really kind of explain to you what the technology they use, the kind of experts they had on the field working there for this 6-part series. But, again, 6-part series, I'm sure it took a few days. I mean, somebody had to have a fucking shovel. Somebody should have gone and tried their best, at least at one of these spots, to dig this shit up and give us some answers. But no, that's not the way it went down, unfortunately. Am I surprised? Not one bit. That's just the way it goes, folks.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a...
That's my PSA for you. That's my announcement, my pep talk for you on this Wednesday. You're welcome. You're welcome. There's a new finding, a new report out. This is where the science comes in as part of the Tempest universe, because we can talk about stuff like this in the blue collar type of way. Now, a few weeks ago, there was this big deal, right? Which all the pencil protecting geeks came out because they were alien filled, man. They were ready. They got probed, and they wanted to tell us that out of Alpha Centauri there was a signal, probably a wild signal, but it was a signal in a megahertz band that there shouldn't be anything naturally occurring. And then out of the woodwork, the other band of geeks came out and they were like, no. And they shot him up. They did. They shot him up with all the hand sanitizer. So there, it kind of died out, right? Because, the first group of geeks that love the aliens and have the E.T. plush dolls, they pretty much had to kind of suck it up and just figure out if they can get that signal again from Alpha Centauri. And then the other geeks who are like, really mean and stuff, and they ride their scooters, they won for the moment. There is another sign of life coming out of Alpha Centauri in a new paper. Why is Alpha Centauri so popular? Why is it important? Number one, 4.24 came from Alpha Centauri. Number two, it is 4.37 light years away. It is a skip away in terms of light travel. So don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about you getting on, the starship eventually in like 10 years, and you're going to head off with Elon to Alpha Centauri. Elon, Jeff Bezos, and everybody else. No. That will not happen. I will tell you why in a moment. Why it won't. But still, if I could send a signal that's only going to take about 4.5 years, a message, and get it back 4.5 years later from an advanced civilization, that's pay dirt. I mean, we could share all kinds of stuff. We could share pictures of Trump quotes, get back some technology, maybe blow ourselves up after that. I don't know. But whatever it is, compared to everywhere else in the universe, it's pretty damn close. It's in our neighborhood. There's a paper that came out and was published in the Nature Communications by an international team because, one nation just can't afford shit like this. And it was a team of astronomers. They used the European Southern Observatory, the very large telescope out in Chile. Kind of brings you back to, when we were talking to John Williams and the upcoming radio telescope out in the UK. But what they found was a very bright thermal image signal coming from the habitable zone of Alpha Centauri A. And I say Alpha Centauri, Alpha Centauri, I don't know, it depends where you come from. But there you go. The Goldilocks zone. The zone where our planet exists in our solar system. Now we have an unknown planet, by the way, that is showing signs of some kind of hot stuff going on, but bright enough to send us a thermal signature. So now the guys that are hanging out with the ET plush dolls, they're happy now. Because again, strike number 2. This one might hit it out the ballpark, to be honest. And we might really have had a signal coming from Alpha Centauri. So I'm sure those guys are looking at these guys thinking, make it happen, Captain. Here's what's going on. This planet that it's coming from it's not even named. It's just a damn planet. We'll just name it the damn planet. The damn planet, no one even knew it was there before. The new signal says that the size of the planet is the size of Neptune. And it's warm, about this, pretty much like 5 planet Earths, basically, is what they're looking at. And they're saying is if there's life, it might be microbial life. But I'm like, come on, that's a lot of microbial life to put out heat so that people can see it 4 light years away. I'm just saying, sometimes y'all gotta think bigger. Stop screwing with me. But they're excited about this because it really is for one thing and one thing only, and that is it is so damn close. Now, you're not going to get on with Jeff Bezos, ride his back all the way on his little rocket ship to Alpha Centauri. No, it's not going to happen. And here's why. We know traveling at light speed, it is going to take you exactly 4.2737 light years in order to get there, if you could travel that fast. This little planet, or the area, Alpha Centauri, is about 25 trillion miles away. For you draconians, 40 trillion kilometers. That's about 300,000 times the distance from the planet Earth to the Sun. To give you an idea, the Earth is not that close to the Sun. In hours, if you guys, are paper pushers, 1.2 billion hours just to get there. That's a lot of overtime. But if you want to throw that into years, 137,000 years. This is why we rather exchange text messages. Because, for fuck's sake, you're not going to make it. The whole planet's not going to be here by the time you get there. So yeah, we'd rather send them a damn text message and hope for a reply 4 years later. That's what's going on. All the pencil protector guys with the plushy ETs and all the Alfs and shit, they're ready for this. They're going to keep looking at this because this certifies the fact that maybe there was a signal coming out of Alpha Centauri in that band that there shouldn't be anything naturally occurring. Alpha Centauri always comes up. You got to keep your eyes and ears peeled for it. So get ready because ET's out there, for fuck's sake. He's out there somewhere. We just need to catch his ass. Hopefully it's not like Alpha Centauri Pornhub because that would really be sick. I mean, could you imagine alien booty on your message from another solar system? I don't know. It could be scary. Very scary.
I'm sturdy like a milli rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket. Don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket. It sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade the noggin. Russell Wilson way I get low and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, I can't do no time to leave that gun around. In my teens we were acting up and running around. Now we're grown, still get to it if it's necessary. On the ground from January to January. Never met nobody who retired when they were young. So I guess I gotta get it to the cemetery. Getting paid just for rapping is fun. I lit up around a month in every February. Told him side, no electric. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told him slide, no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple of money in my head just to say they did it. Can't lie, I'm so paranoid and the windows tinted. I own everything around me, you can say it's rented. Not talking phone numbers when I'm talking 7 digits. Earn it by the day, every second minute. Used to pay me none, look, now they pay attention. Everybody say they drip, but I banded it. See them copy all the looks, but I stay switching. Pick up the loot, then hit the bank. Can never change, still wrote the change. Captain say the pay, this ain't the day. They made me wait, I'm breaking chains. Yeah. Tell me feeling bubbly out the rose. Took a minute, but I got it out the slow way. Friends turn to foes, haters tell them go away. Rappers making shiggy dance like a soul train. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777.
What's up to CDMCQ G. I don't know. Maybe it's a CD McG. What's up? Welcome to the live podcast. Hope you return. Sometimes it gets a little crazy. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just boring as hell. But what can you do? That's just the way it is. One of the things about the Tempest universe is that I wanted to cover how crazy, how stormy, how wild the universe is, especially here in our backyard, because our planet's fucked up. And it's even more screwed up thanks to Wuhan. Wuhan in China, you fucking guys, really. You guys, you fucked that up for everybody. And, you know, there was that report out today from the CDC in the U.S. talking about maybe you should double up on your mask. Are you fucking serious? You wait how long to tell us we should double up? It's too fucking late. It is too damn late. I ain't gonna double up. Listen, it's hard enough to breathe with just one damn mask. Are you serious? No, you've lost your damn mind. We need to fire everyone in the CDC unless they're willing to go balls to the wall and just go into Wuhan and figure this shit out. Get some of that paperwork. Somebody's got it. They probably burned and shredded all that shit up. I mean, we got to know how they made it. Maybe that'll help us, right? Craziness. Just crazy. British Airways investigating reports Stewardess is offering sexual services between flights. If that doesn't show you how things have changed since before Wuhan, the Wuhan virus, nothing will. Nothing. I'm like I was sitting here reading this. I'm like, what the fucking last time I flew? What the hell is going on? And I've never been on British Airways. I mean, whoa. Really? Apparently, passengers were promised unspecified adult entertainment while they were on board. I guarantee you that this stewardess, probably every plane she was on, left on time and got to their destination late. And I'm sure their pilot was never late. Yeah, this is what was going down on British Airways. Now, the report actually came out in November. So, I mean, I don't know. This is how crazy our universe is. This right here, what I'm talking about. So the reports came out that British Airways was out in Heathrow pretty much trying to figure out if one of their stewardesses was selling sex on the flights. One of the things she was doing is she was selling her undergarments in between flights. $33 a pop for used underwear. Like, what happened to just getting like drinks while you're on the flight? Maybe some peanuts. No, now you can get used undies for $33. I wonder if she was able to swipe the card for that. Yeah, this is the new Wuhan, the post-Wuhan world. This is it right here. This is your Tempest universe. Crazy. But, you know, other stuff that you can get is that you could probably meet at a hotel, possibly, you know, afterwards, after they land. I mean, she must have been making the mint, to be honest. For this to get out, she was killing it, literally. There was even something that she wrote to some of these folks, the ones that were interested on these flights from British Airways. There was a note she wrote to someone that says, all you have to do is give me some money and you'll be treated to a whole different experience of your choice. There's a lot of probing going on these flights, let's be honest. And I wonder if this was like in any class, because I mean, could you get it in like an economy? You know, could you get it like where the poor people fly? I mean, was this all first class? I want to know. Because the prices probably went up in first class. Let's be honest about it. British Airways, of course, said we expect the highest standard of behavior. She should have charged $55. From all our colleagues, at all times, we are investigating the claim according to the airlines. A funny thing is that after the story broke about this stewardess, the Mile High stewardess, she closed down all of her social media. It all got deleted, basically, so they couldn't even find her. You can even look for her afterwards. So it's, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Now, who knows? Could this be happening at other airlines? I'll leave it up to you guys to find out. Let me know if you get lucky with a stewardess on a flight somewhere that sold you her soiled underwears for $33. I mean, really. I wonder if she just had like a pack, sitting in her bag, had like a pack of 10 underwear and put on a fresh one, sell it off to one guy, move on to the next one. Probably some chick came, paid her another $33. I mean, listen, with all the flights she probably did, she probably made a mint. And she had to supplement her income, right? It was COVID-19 times. Times were hard. I'm not going to go anywhere else with that. But that's just the way it is. This is the end of the podcast. I thank you for listening and for joining me live, the Asgardians and everyone else that's in the live chat. I appreciate you guys. You make the podcast entertaining. Don't forget to join the contest. Get your damn aluminum and stop screwing around. You're not going to barbecue anytime soon. So get the aluminum. Get your tinfoil hat going. Just be ready because it's going to be fun. It always is, by the way. And I'm not even lying. With that, I bid you adieu. Farewell. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao.